Hello there everybody, Jesper Grip here, and I finally managed to fix my computer, so I will bring you another tutorial now for CRYTIVO.com. And today it's going to be in After Effects, as you might have noticed. So let's show you what we're going to make. We're going to make a cool transition like this, where it just basically goes up in smoke like this and just flies up. And this is a cool effect with particular, and you can easily make it yourself, and it's really adaptive and easy to make. So let's get right into it. Let's make a new project, and then make a new composition. And we're just gonna make it like this, around 6 seconds. It's a pretty good time, and frame rate of 29.97 and 720p. So let's just rename this to main comp. And when we've done that, I want to just make a text CRYTIVO like that, and we just move it into position where we want it to. We want to make sure it's centered, so we just make a title action save and just center it by moving it in the center like that. That's the center pretty much. When we've done this, we want to click and we want to pre-compose, and we name this logo main. When we've done that, we want to pre-compose this one, and we want to make this particle guide. Let's make guide. That sounds pretty cool. And then we just want to open these, so we have them opened in our logo, so we can easily switch. And then we have the logo here, and we have the particle guide here. What we want to do now is just make a mask on this one, so we make a new mask, and then in the mask we know we want to just take here, and we want to take mask path, and we want to just take this edge here, and we want to pull that in and make it a little bit smaller, and then we just take this edge and we pull it in as well, make it smaller as well, like that. And then we just click mask path, and then we move this to the around, let's see, we want to turn around 4 seconds. So now we just move this over to the other side, and like that we have 2 keyframes there, and as we move now it will move in between those 2 keyframes. So now we head back to the main comp, and we just pull our logo main in here like that, and we hide the particle guide. What I also want to do is just pull the background in. I usually work with pre-made backgrounds because I find it easier, but you don't have to. I just like making them in Photoshop and then importing them, find it easier. So there we have a background, and we have our CRYTIVO logo, and we have everything. I'm just going to go into the logo and actually change the color of that one because I want it to be white. It doesn't matter which color you have, but this is just easy to change and everything. So when we've done this, we want to go to our particle guide. It's hidden. We want to just press here. We want to make it a 3D layer, and if you don't have it, you just press here and it will pop up. So now we have that. Then after that we want to go to layer, we want to take a new, and we want to take a solid. Just press OK, and we rename this one particle big, like that. And then we just go into our trap code here in effect, and then we just take a particular, and then we change the emitter to around, pretty crazy, but like 500,000, around there. We want a lot of particles. And then when we've done that, we want to go to the point here, meter type, and select layer instead. And then we go to the layer emitter, and we just want to now select our particle guide. It has to be 3D layer for this to work, that's why we changed it to 3D layer here. So after that we just take particle birth time, and as you see now, when we pull over here, the particles will spawn over the text basically. So, but it doesn't look good at all at the moment, it is flying in random directions. So what we want to do now is, first of all, we want to take our logo main, and we want to just make a new mask on that one. And then we just go to mask path, and as we know, we want to make a mask path start here, and then we know that it ended at 4th second, right? So what we want to do then is just pull this to the end at 4 seconds. So now it will move with our particles. And then we want to also raise the feathering a little bit. We don't want it to just, break completely. We want it to fade out like this. As you see now, it looks very good. It looks like they're actually flying from the text. And after we have done this, what we want to do then is go back to our particle big here. And we want to take the emitter down. We want to go into particle. We want to have the life on around maybe 2 seconds. We don't want them to be too long up. And then sphere feathering, we can take that down to 0. It will just give a really hard edge. Size we can have on, around 5 is a pretty good one. And then we just let the opacity and such be on the same there. After we've done that, we want to go into psychic. And this is the fun part. Here you can change a lot. You can do the gravity. You want it to go upwards, for example. Or you can just do whatever you want. It will basically this will force them to fly upwards. After you've done that, you want to go into air. You can do air resistance on around 1. This will just make them have a little bit harder flying in the air, so they will accelerate slower. So they will just accelerate like this. And then we can, play around with these. You want to spin a little bit, maybe. You want to add a little bit of wind to the minus, then if you want them to fly backwards, and then they will basically just spread out like this. And you might want to add a little bit upwards, so they fly a little bit more up, and then they will go up in the air like this. And then we can go to turbulence. This is a really good thing, because then here you can change affected size. You maybe want to have this on around 20 or so. This will change the size, so it will be a little bit random in size. And then we want to have affect position, maybe 200. And this will give a turbulence, so they will actually roll around a little bit. If we do a pre-render here, see if it wants to render fast enough, then we will see that we will have a little bit of turbulence in our logo, and it will actually keep the letters for a little bit, and then they fly off. So it's a cool effect. There's pretty much rendered that sequence. Let's just click and play that. And as you see, that looks pretty good. So what we want to do then after that is just Control D on the particle big selected, Control D. We want to just go into the particle big 2, and we want to make sure that the particle guide is selected and everything looks good. We want to get this down to maybe 300,000 now. And we want to also random seed here. We want to change this. Just pull it up so it randomizes. And then we want to go down to psychic. Yeah, I can't really pronounce that word, as you might have noticed, since I'm Swedish. So you have to bear with that. We want to take this down to 0. And then we just go into our particle setting again. We want to bring the size down to maybe 3. And then you can, for example, take streakle here, like I usually like to do. And then we also want to go into air once again. And what I like to do is just bring the wind down, so it doesn't, maybe minus 30, minus 20, around there. So these smaller streckles just follow underneath a little bit. And that's basically how you do it. When you've done this, as you see, we have logo main here, we have it separate. So what we can do then is, for example, bring in our CRYTIVO logo, and then you can just pull it in like this. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. You just pull our logo in like that. If you just want to open, there we have it. And then you just pull it in like this, and you just hide this one. Make sure it's centered. It's centered. I want to size it down a little bit, around there. And then you just jump back into main comp. And as you see now, our particles are already being emitted in the same colors as our logo, and everything looks very good. So yeah, that's how you do a cool transition with particular in After Effects. And I hope this tutorial helped you out, and I hope that you can do some cool motion graphic with this. And if you have any questions or whatever, just put them in the comment, and I'll be sure to try and reply to them as fast as possible. And yeah, guys, have a great day and happy graphic for you. So I'll see you all around.